It's time to bring our next guest on. This is a very, very cool one. Matthew Sullivan, CEO of Crowdventures LLC, www.crowdventures.com. Matthew, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Yes. So I hear the accent going on. I know where you're from.
It's Berkeley.
It's Berkeley, for the love of God, Mervyn.
I know. I mean, I'm English, and my natural reaction is to read it as Berkeley, but I've learned to bite my lip.
So you probably enjoyed Mervyn's facts and figures in our last segment.
Absolutely.
All right, so you're from London. Why in the world? How did we get you over here? All this talent over here to the U.S.
Well, there's two stories. There's the official story and the real story. So you guys get the official story.
Oh man!
But the true story is I was following a beautiful woman who I've now married. Mm-hmm. So I think that's the story that's behind everything, really.
Many movies have been made about that.
Exactly.
Many companies have changed because the love of a beautiful woman.
So
well, welcome. How long have you been in the U.S.?
For 3.5 years. So it's been pretty marvelous. I live in Orange County, so every day I wake up and I look out the window and I say, it's going to be a great day today, which is this affliction that I have because having been brought up in the UK where it rains 95% of the time. And if the sun is shining, you look out the window and go, wow, it's a great day. So every day is a great day.
See, and on top of it, you're in this industry, the real estate industry, that's just, it's very cyclical. It goes these ups and downs. But you're in a time right now, and I think you've hit this sweet spot, that very few people get the opportunity to be part of the cutting edge of something pretty special. So with the laws that have changed and the Jobs Act signed, and now people can actually invest in this crowdfunding phenomenon, just in 30, 40, 50 years, people are going, oh, my God, if I was only a part of that when it started. And you are here, and you're part of that real estate crowdfunding. Tell me your sweet spot. And actually, first, tell me what brought you into that arena.
Well, I got exposed to the Jobs Act when I was out in London. So that was one of the other major reasons that I came over here, particularly to the West Coast, because the Jobs Act, which came into effect in April 2012, was the most significant overhaul of securities legislation in 80 years. So before the Jobs Act, if you wanted to raise money, you needed to rely on securities legislation that was written in the 1930s. So that's kind of before people had telephones, let alone before people had social media.
Exactly.
So what the Jobs Act did was really overhaul legislation that enables today companies who are not Ivy League companies, to mention what Mo was mentioning earlier, really to tap into the crowd and to compete on a level playing field. And those investments can be anything from tech startups all the way through to real estate investments. So what this legislation has done is enabled the man in the street, the ordinary investor, not the super high net worth individual, not the accredited investor as they're known, but really people that have capital that they want to invest themselves, and they don't want to be restricted to the sort of investments that their broker tries to convince them they should buy.
You're exactly right. And that guy on the street, that he doesn't have the time, most of the time, to get educated on really how to play that investment game. So this gives him a little more opportunity. Now, listen, I have to take a break. I want to come back to you right after this break, and we're going to talk a little more about the crowdfunding and the real estate and how the average guy right there in the bar next to you having a beer, he wants to figure out how he can play in the real estate game from a crowdfunding standpoint. So we'll be right back with Matthew Sullivan, CEO of Crowdventures LLC, right on the other side of this break. Okay, welcome back to CEO Money. We've been talking with Matthew Sullivan, CEO of Crowdventure LLC. Welcome back, Matthew.
Thank you.
So we were really talking about the opportunity that crowdfunding is offering, especially in the real estate side, which really makes the most sense when you talk about crowdfunding, because then you have an asset. So if you're going to put money into something, my daddy always told me, buy real estate.
Yes.
So
Exactly.
tell me about your sweet spot with your fund, and what do you look for as an investment, and what kind of is your focus?
Exactly. Well, the great thing, let's talk about the problem first of all. So
Okay.
before crowdfunding and before the Jobs Act came along, if you wanted to get involved in real estate investing, and again, remember, we're talking about the man in the street, the ordinary guy. So you're not a member of the local club. You're not a member of the local sort of real estate investment society. You're not an accredited investor. You're not a super high net worth individual. You don't have millions of dollars in the bank. And you don't go to the local country club. So previously, if you weren't one of those people, then you would find it very difficult to get access to real estate deals. And what the Jobs Act and crowdfunding has done is create a mechanism to, Have you got me?
Are you back? Sorry, we lost you just for a minute, Matthew. Can you hear me? So, Matthew?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, I'm sorry. I just lost you for a minute, but if you'll just kind of tell us a little bit more. So the Jobs Act have definitely made this opportunity for the guy that is not a typical savvy investor.
Well, no, it's not so much that. We want investors to be savvy. You've got to assume that most investors are savvy investors in the sense that they do some research.
Right.
Because,
right.
That's the thing that you really want to take on board is that, most people are smart, they're intelligent, they take their time to research things before they put their money in. But the real question is, or the real problem that the Jobs Act has solved is access. So what crowdfunding has done, and there's 3 or 4 different flavors of crowdfunding, but what it's done is it's really made all types of investments available to accredited and non-accredited investors.
Now, I only have about 60 seconds, so let's go real quick because I need people to know how to reach you, because the guys out there, I know they're going to want to reach out to you to get this knowledge.
Well, the most important thing is that on our website, for example, on crowdventure.com, we have a number of these types of Jobs Act or crowdfunding opportunities where if you're accredited or non-accredited, you can get access to deals that previously you wouldn't have been able to see. So these deals would have been hidden, and they would only have been available to you if you were a hedge fund or a super high net worth individual. So what we're doing is we're removing that layer, and we're making these types of deals available to you so that you can make an investment from the comfort of your own couch.
That is so exciting news, because I know there's millions of people out there that want to invest in real estate, not quite sure how to do it. Now they can go to your website, Crowdventure LLC, or crowdventure.com. Is there a phone number, Matthew, they can reach you?
Yeah, crowdventure.com, and the number is 888-444-2102. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to tell you more about how it all works.
Sure.
And
thank you.
Find out how we can be of use to you.
There you go. Matthew Sullivan, CEO, Crowdventure LLC, crowdventure.com. Thanks so much for being on the show.